So after months, after weeks of waiting for a part from a shipper here in the country, I think New York or something, we finally got the heater core for Rachel's car. So I thought I would just take some time to document this whole process of replacing the heater core in a Volvo S70, and I guess we'll just get started here. All right, so one of the first things we have to do, because of the way Volvo put all of this together, is we have to take out the glove box. I've already started that process. I've taken out these two screws and loosened this one. There's another one here that I'll have to remove, one up here in the top left and one up here in the top right, and then this should all pop out, or the whole glove box should come out. And then once that's done, I can take out this lower panel down here, basically where my leg would hit, and that'll give me access to the passenger side area down under the dash, where I'll have at least partial access to the heater core in here. All right, so after getting all of those screws out and breaking this off a little bit, it was already cracked, but it just peeled right off. So after getting all those screws out, that just pops out, and that's the whole dash, or the whole glove box there. And now the next steps are to take out this screw and that screw, and that should be a T25. It's going to look, let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, it's going to look something like that. I think the only two tools you really need for this is a T25 and a T15. But yeah, so next steps will be just taking out those two screws to pop off that lower panel. All right, so now we've got the lower kick plate out, or shin plate, I don't know what it's actually called. So we've got that out. Now we can kind of get a better idea of what's going on down here. Next steps will be to actually pull back this carpet and remove this plate. And here you can kind of see back there that little white spot. That's where the heater core is going to be. So next steps, like I said, will be pull back the carpet, pull out this plate, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got the plate off of there, that plastic area there. And if you look, maybe hard to see, there we go. You can actually see where it's been dripping. I mean, all those little like drip spots under the heater core, that's all antifreeze that's dripped from there under the carpet. And then also, let's see if we can get it to focus here. Yeah, you can see where it's been splashing and dripping onto that plate there. So that's definitely our culprit. So yeah, now we'll move on to the driver's side. Okay, so now we're on the driver's side, and we're going to kind of repeat that same process as before. We're going to take out this panel here. We're going to take out that screw. Whole thing will drop down. I guess the one thing I didn't mention is that both sides, they've got a light down here that you'll need to disconnect once you pull the panel down. So yeah, we'll take that out and keep going on. All right, so we've got that panel off. Again, it was just a screw here. It was wrapped around the hood latch there. Disconnected the light. So yeah, next thing will be to pull down the carpet, pull out the plate, and that'll give us access to the heater core that you can see back there. Just in case anybody comments, questions, wonders, these are hooked up to a switch in the dash, this switch right here, for some under dash green lighting to go with the color of the car, which is also why we've got a green pedal there, but I need to put it back on the brake pedal. So that's what that is. So yeah, let's get the carpet pulled back and get that panel pulled. Okay, so we've got that panel pulled out of there, which you can see here. Also, you can see where this whole section here, like that's, yeah, that's just all antifreeze that's splashed up. If we come in here a little bit, see if we can get some of this out of the way. Yeah, here you can see drips. More back over here, you can see more drips. So yeah, next step will be to get into here and pull out the heater core. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, and I guess I should have done this on the other side, but I didn't think about it first. We're going to pull a screw out from up here. We're going to pull this screw out. That's going to be the same on both sides. And then down under here, let's see if I can get everything down under here. So here we're kind of looking at the very bottom. There's a screw under there that we'll need to take out as well. And then at that point, we'll be able to pull out the heater core box, this whole white area, the whole white plastic thing. But we'll want to make sure that we put something down under here to collect any of the coolant. Get focus. There we go. So we're gonna line this area down here with a plastic bag to catch any coolant, and yeah, then we'll pull it all apart and see what we find. Oops. All right. All right, so I went ahead and pulled those screws on the driver's side. I really should have done this on the passenger side, but wasn't really thinking about it too much. So again, we're going to pull this bottom screw, and there's a screw further up that we're going to pull out, and that should give us full access to everything we need to pull out the heater core box and then the heater core. All right, so in the process of trying to get to that top screw, I ran into a situation where this was in my way. This is for your for the air that blows onto your feet. This was actually stuffed up in here, all connected up, but it was in the way of getting to that top screw. So make sure, if you ever have to do this, you'll find it. Make sure that you get that out of there, and it'll make your life a lot easier. All right, so we got all our screws out. We're back on the driver's side. We've got our plastic bag down, which hopefully will do us some good. Next thing is just to wiggle the box out and see what we've got in there. All right, so I've just barely broken the seal, and here we can see that we're already leaking antifreeze in, so we're definitely on the right track. Just kind of wanted to show you. Here you can see it dripping out from about right there. You can see it drip out of there, so just be prepared for that. All right, so after a little finagling and shaking things around a little bit, we got the heater core box out. Also, bit of a mess down there. Even with the bag in place, it got ahead of me. So again, be prepared for that. But we did get this, right? So that's the heater core box. This damage is actually from me trying to twist it out of there. That damage is my fault. But this is the old one. Let's see if we can get some focus there. Here we go. Yeah, so that's the one that was in there. So I'll go get the other parts and I'll get the screws out of here first, I suppose. Just a few screws holding it on together on the bottom, and yeah, then I'll put the new one in there. All right, so we've got everything taken out. That's the box that we pulled out from under the dash. This is the original heater core. When I say original, I really do mean it. Let's see if I can get that to zoom. Yeah, there we go. It's upside down, but you can see that it was installed in 97 and this is in 98. So this is the original heater core. And then we've got the new one here. I am deliberately covering up the logo here because the people I got this from had a nightmare with trying to get the whole thing taken care of. So that's the new one. Next steps will be to get the new heater core put into the box and get it all put back together. I'm going to go ahead and put today's date on there so that the next person that deals with this knows how long this heater core's been in. So yeah, we'll keep going here. Okay, so one thing to note here, one of my first thoughts was about getting it all put back together correctly, making sure everything was facing the right direction and whatnot. And then I realized that Volvo was smart about the way they did this, and it's the screws are offset, so you can't put it together wrong. So anyway, just a little note there. Okay, so we're back in the car. We're back under the dash here. Next steps are actually going to be to come over to here. I'm actually going to take off. Well, I'll get to it. I'm going to take off the O-rings here. The heater core that we got in the mail today actually came with some new ones. We always want to make sure that we replace those anytime we get a new part. Or anytime we replace a part that has these. But they've been on there since, like I said, 98, 97, I guess. And they're pretty glued on there. So I'm going to have to get a screwdriver and pry them out. But always make sure that you do that. And yeah, we'll just keep doing this. All right, so here we've got the old set and the new set of O-rings. You can tell these up here are the old ones. If we can actually kind of get a better angle on that. You can see they're actually flat as opposed to the new ones that are over here that are much rounder. So yeah, that's why we want to do that, is to make sure we keep a good even seal. One of the things I am going to do, just out of recommendations that I've read, is I'm going to actually going to lubricate the new O-rings with some antifreeze and make sure that everything seals properly. Okay, so after a bit of fighting, finagling and whatnot, Pretty much back in place now. One of the obstacles that you'll probably run into is this. Trying to get it up and around that is kind of a pain in the ass, but once you get it around there, you may have to switch sides of the car a couple of times to get everything to line up. But yeah, getting it over that tube down there is really about the hardest part, and then it all just kind of popped in. All right, so everything is all back together. Everything went back together. Hell, even easier than it was to take it apart. Really, all I needed was a couple of tools. I needed T25, T15. Oops, pay attention there. 25, 15, and a flat blade to pull the O-rings off, and that was it. So next steps will be top off the radiator and take it for a spin, see what happens. All right, so the car's been running for a little while, pretty much up to temp, and the air's blowing. Well, it's not blowing now, but if I flip some switches here, oh, there we go. Let's turn that down a little, so you can hear it. Obviously, you can't feel it, but I can. Blowing hot air, or warm air, much warmer than we had before. We're not getting any of the smell that we were getting. Heat's working. It wasn't really working before. So yeah, I'd call this one a success. So there you go. That's kind of my experience with replacing the heater core in a 1998 Volvo S70.